All right. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, but thank God for my awesome Jessica. She fixed it for me. So as you come in as usual, say hi so I'll know who's coming on with me. We're thankful that we're here on this first day of September, and it was a cooler day. Wasn't as hot today, so we thank God for that. And again, it's September 1st. And again, I'd like to welcome you to S.O.P. Presents Tidbits with Peaches. Let's talk about it. So as you come in, just let me know you're there. Write your name in the comments and you write your name down there in the comments so I know who's on with me. So, hi, Jess. Hi, Evan. Hope you guys had a great day. So, we're up and rolling now. So we had a little bit, we're running a little bit behind, but it's still okay. We still gonna do what we need to do. It's just 6:09, so we only 8 minutes off. So that's great. So I'm excited today. Again, today is September 1st, and I'm gonna welcome you to SOP Present Tidbits with Peaches. Hey Alexis, and I hope you guys had a great day. Hey Nita, hey Charity. And I hope everyone is having an awesome Thursday. I'm gonna talk a little bit so I can let some more people come on. And again, today is September 1st, and we all know what September is. In 26 more days, it'll be my born day. I'm excited to see what September holds for me and for you too, not just me, but for all of us to see that it'll be a great month. We're starting fresh, knowing that we got some things that we need to accomplish in this month and that we're going to be able to accomplish every goal we set for ourselves. So I'm excited about September. Everybody had a good day? Hey, Pat. Oh, Pat on today, y'all. I'm so excited. Hey, Pat, how are you? It's good to see y'all in the chat today. But I'm excited to see what we're going to do and where we're going to go. In the beginning, I always like to do a recap. But as I was studying this week for this, December, LOL. Okay, Portia. And for all of this, I like to do a recap. But this time when I was studying, things came a little different. So I wanted to talk about cycles today. And I like to recap everything that we talked about in case somebody's new that's coming in new today so they can catch up to say, okay, we don't just want to throw them in without saying what we talked about. So, but the topic today is going to be cycles, but I'm going to do like a recap. And when I was thinking about the recap, I was writing down everything that we've already discussed prior. Um, One of the most exciting things to me was owning your stuff. Now, that out of all of them, that was my favorite because that was a process that was hard for me to own my stuff. So now to come back and talk to people about owning their stuff, that's my favorite. So in saying that, when I say own your stuff, that means you have to own whatever it is that's causing you pain or caused you pain, or if you mean, own it, but you want to do better. If you're upset all the time or angry or never happy, or you take things to heart all the time, that's your thing. You own it. Whatever it is, you have to own it. If you had a trauma or something hurt you in your past that you're stuck there, own it. And the only way you can deal with it, you have to own it. Then you begin to deal with it so you can heal from it. But you have to own your stuff. Whatever it is, we're not talking about anybody else. We're talking about you. So you have to own your stuff. Even though you may have dealt with the trauma or it may have happened to you, you have to own it because of the way you begin to deal with it and how you handle it. That's what I mean by owning your stuff. So you have to own it, deal with it so you can heal from it. So we can't allow those things to be turned into dysfunction where we're living or accepting dysfunction or getting comfortable there because we don't really want to deal with the feelings of the trauma or deal with it. You have to dig up all of those feelings from that trauma. And sometimes you just don't want to do that. You don't want to relive it. But in order to heal from it, you have to own it and deal with it and relive it, because if not, it's just going to go in a cycle. That's where cycles come in at, because you're not dealing with it. And then if you find yourself repeating the same cycle over and over and over, the only one that can break that cycle, remember, is you. So it was your trauma. It happened to you. So whatever that pain or that trauma was that happened, you have to own that so you can deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, it's going to lead to dysfunction, and then you become comfortable in the dysfunction. And why I say that is because you would rather um, just live in a dysfunction than deal with the feelings of it, or deal with what happened, or deal with what caused you the trauma. You would rather stay there in that place. You've become comfortable in the dysfunction because you don't want to deal. But in order to heal, you have to deal. You can't heal until you deal. And I sometimes I tell people it doesn't matter if it's a friendship, or uh, a marriage, or you getting a new job. But when you go on to new things, or invite new people into your space, and you haven't dealt with your trauma, or you take that with you. I call it baggage. You take that baggage wherever you go. You can put a band-aid over it for a little while, but after a while that sore is going to come through that band-aid. So all you did was put a layer over it. You didn't deal with it. You just covered it up for a minute. So when you get into these relationships, or you know it doesn't have to be like a boy or a woman relationship. It can be just a friendship, or you going into a new job, or a different circumstance, or a different situation. It's good in the beginning because the band-aid is there. So when you get in it, and the band-aid and the sore starts to come through the band-aid, because you didn't deal with it, you just covered it up. So that's what I mean when I say own your stuff. And then it becomes a cycle. It's just a repeating thing. A cycle is something that repeats itself. It just keep repeating, and then you want to know, why am I still here? Why I end up at this same place every time? Because you never dealt with the trauma of it. You just keep putting band-aids over it. You rather put a band-aid over it than to deal with it, because sometimes you have to deal with the pain. And I always say, you take the trauma and the pain and let it push you to to your purpose. Don't let it push you in a place where it'll paralyze your whole life. Then you're stuck in that same situation. That's a cycle. It's continuing, it's going the same way all the time, because you don't want to take the time to deal. So cycles is something that you have to break. If I don't want to continue in that same cycle, then that means I'm going to do the work. So I'm going to break that cycle. I'm going to stop that cycle. I'm not going to allow that to continue on. It don't matter if you're 60 years old. You can be 70. If you want to stop a cycle, that's up to you. It may have been your whole life, but you have the power to change the cycle. You have the power to start over. You have the power to do better. All of that is within you. You have that power. No one else can do that but you. Don't give anyone else that much power over you. That's you. What they did was bad. What you experienced was bad. What you had to go through was bad. But don't keep giving them that power. Take your power back. Yes, this happened. Yes, it was bad. Yes, I had to cry. But I'm finna break this. I'm not going to keep going through this same cycle. I'm going to have a healthy relationship. I'm going to be good with myself. I'm going to love myself enough that I'm going to do better. I'm not going to keep, going through this same cycle. Sometimes people say, well, your mama went through it and their mama went, okay, that was them. I'm going to stop this now. I don't want to live like this. And, old people would say, well, what go on here, stay here. I don't like that either. Because if you don't talk about it and get some kind of help for it, that's when you have damaged people. And that's when you get damaged relationships. And you have damaged marriage. You have damaged friendships, because nobody wants to deal with what's underneath. The layer underneath is what I like to call it. The layer underneath. So that's what you have to make sure, that whatever it is underneath. Sometimes people act hateful and they mean and they nasty. I said this before. Stop for a minute and see what's underneath, because there may be a layer underneath and nobody ever took the time to see what was underneath, because the person was so mean and nasty. But see, sometimes we have to get past the attitude to see the person. There may be a reason why they act the way they act. Did anybody ever stop to think about, well, maybe it's something underneath that? And then when you get underneath it, you be like, oh my God, they're good people. They just needed somebody to talk to, or somebody to pray with them, or somebody to encourage them, or somebody to say, you can do this. You can do this. You don't have to stay stuck there. Yes, it was bad. Yes, it happened, but you don't have to stay stuck there. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to help you. If I can't help you, I'm going to find somebody that can help you. So you won't keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over. So that's what a cycle is. It just repeats itself. But again, only you can break that cycle. You can't blame anybody else because you're stuck in it. Now, what happened? Yeah, but you allowing yourself to stay stuck in it because you don't want to deal with it. So you're allowing that trauma or that pain or whatever happened to you to control your life. And if you don't deal with it, to me, that means you want to stay stuck there. So you have to deal with it to heal from it. But if you don't want to deal with it, that shows me that okay, I'm good right here. I'm stuck in this. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna go to work and do what I gotta do. But that's it. I'm just, this is me. It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's the mentality of someone who don't want to deal. See, I used to say that all the time too, because I didn't want to deal. I would rather just, stay there. It is what it is. But then you have to understand underneath all of that was a broken person. So sometimes people are broken underneath their attitude. They're broken underneath their demeanor. They may look stone hearted, but underneath is just a broken little girl or a broken little boy that nobody ever took the time to talk to see what was really going on. Why do they act that way? What happened, baby? What happened to you that caused you to be this way? And I'm not saying everybody is like that. Yeah, there are some people that are just mean, period. That's just them. But still, I look at it. Why are they so mean? Why do they act that way? Why do they say that all the time? Why is it always drama? Or why is it always dysfunction? You have to look underneath. Or why did they do that? What caused them to do that? Why are they doing it that way? So sometimes you just have to stop and think about it. And today I wanted to try something a little different instead of me doing all the talking. That's why the chat is over there. So if you need a question answered, or if there's something you want to discuss of something I may have said in the past 3 weeks, um, yeah, stop and think before you judge. That's true. And now that's a good statement, to stop and think before you judge, because I have done that sometimes, in past, I've grown a little and matured a little. Now I don't do it like that. But you do have to stop and think before you judge, because sometimes you'll look at people and say, ooh, they just terrible. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. And you go to talking about them, but you don't understand. Then you should go up and say, okay, babe, what's wrong? What is it? Do you need somebody to talk to, or somebody to pray with you, or any of those things? That's right. Stop, think before you judge. Because you might, you think you're doing good, but somebody could be looking at you saying, well, they just unapproachable. They don't never smile. Their face is always hard. You don't know when to approach them. So again, you do have to stop and think before you judge, because you may think that about somebody else, but somebody may think that about you. So it works vice versa. So, like I was saying, um, I usually do all the talking, but today I just felt like I wanted to hear from you guys. So that's where the chat is there. And if anything that I've said in the past 3 weeks that you want to discuss, or you need to ask a question, that's what the chat is there for. And I would love where it to be some interaction, not me just talking. So that's what Tidbits with Peaches is for. And I like to say, let's talk, so we can talk about it. Sometimes I say a lot of stuff. And not to think, I want everybody to be able to grasp what I'm saying. So if I've said something that you need to go back and ask something about, that this is your moment, this is your time to ask. So I have a lot of notes here, and I always take a lot of notes in pretty much everything I do. Yes, Sierra, what's your question? So what's your question, Sierra? I guess she typing, y'all, so she got a question. So again, we're talking about cycles today. We're talking about cycles. So if you have a question about cycles or anything like that, feel free to jump in the comments and let me know what your question is and what cycles are. What is the best way to react when you know you're doing better, but people still judge you from the past? How do we deal with that? And whew, that's a good question. Because if you wait on people to accept that you've changed, you'll be waiting a long time. Because some people just would never accept that. And I learned that a long time ago, because people still say, I remember when you did this. And then it used to bother me, because now, I'm trying and I'm doing better. They never will. So some people will never accept that you've changed or that you've grown. They will always hold you to your past, but you can't let that bother you, because you have those type people. You say, hey, God bless you, pray for them, and keep moving, because you can't change anybody's perception of you. You can just change how you react to their perception. Hi, Nika. So you can never change anyone's perception or perceive or how they perceive you. You can just change how it you react to it. So sometimes people will never accept that you've changed. But you know that you've changed, and God knows that you've changed, and that you're trying your best to be a better person. I wouldn't let it make me feel any kind of way because I know that I'm not the same person that I used to be. But you still love them and go on and just say, God, you know, and let God handle it. You can't force it on them because they'll never. Some people will never ever accept the fact that you're not who you used to be. They still stuck back in, I remember when you was this and I remember when you did that. But you know, and God knows. So go on and be happy and live your life and know that you're not that person anymore. Don't let them bring that person back. You know, my pastor always would tell me, don't let them bring her back. So that's your job, not to allow people to take you back to where you were. So you've moved on for that. So move on from it and acknowledge, you know, yeah, that's who I used to be, but this is who I am now. So this is me now. Do you want to deal with me now? So we can have that relationship if you accept me now. But I'm not going to just throw you away, but I'm not going to be let that bother me that you want to keep me back there because I've really grown from that. And I'm praying that you see that and accept that. But if not, you know, it's okay. And then you go on. Don't let it shake who you are. You can't allow people's perception or what they perceive to shake you. You know who you are. You know you've grown, and you know God know your truth. That's right. He's the best lie detector. That's all that matters. That's right. God know your truth, and you know your truth. So you and God know the truth. So that's all that matters. It's always three sides: their truth, your truth, and then God's truth, which is the truth. So that's it. And that's the best way to do that. You don't have to try to prove to them that you've changed or that you're a bigger person. Don't do that. You just let your actions and your life speak for you because that's the best way to do that. That's the best way to let them see. That's all that matters. Let them see the change and let them see the God in you. So that's the best way to show people. You know, they're going to always say that. Oh, she say she this and that, but I remember when she was in the club and I remember when she was doing this. Yeah. But the good thing about that is, and I love to say this, while you remember what I was, God remember what you is right now. So that's the best way to do that. You know, in my mind, I'm saying it while they saying, I remember when you used to be in the club with us. Yeah, I sure was. But I remember that now that I'm a different person, but God see you right now. God sees you right now. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So never, you know, you can't allow people to make you back up or go back in the shell because you know your truth. Like Charity said, you know your truth and God knows your truth. So that's the main important thing. Long as you and God know the truth, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's the best answer. God knows your truth. So is there anyone else that got anything in there? And then again, you know, I was thinking about this today too. You know, sometimes we sabotage our own lives. We do that ourselves because we don't want to deal with all the feelings of doing the work to heal. So that we're sabotaging our life and our growth because we would rather just stay there than deal with it. And sometimes we'll say, well, I guess I'm gonna be by myself, or I guess this gonna be what it is, because you really don't want to deal with it. You really don't want to do the work. You really don't want to do it. You rather stay there uncomfortable in dysfunction because you'll have to feel, and you don't want to feel because in order to deal and heal, you got to feel. So some of us have become numb because, you know, I don't really want to feel that. You've put up that barrier where it's like, okay, I only let you get so far anyway. So I'm not going to go all into this because I don't want to end up with my feelings hurt. So I blocked off something. I blocked that part. I'm not going to let you get that close to me to hurt me like that. So that's still dysfunction. That's still not how we're supposed to live our lives. We're not supposed to be that way. That's not how you're supposed to live. That's not how we were created to live or designed to live. So we are supposed to be loving and willing to be loved. So you put that wall up to keep people from hurting you, but that's still dysfunction. That's not how we're supposed to be. Nobody's supposed to be like that. We all are created to love and give love. So you can't walk around with a wall up. And I know sometimes life will make you put walls up. So I'm not saying that because life will make you put walls up. You know, sometimes people get hurt so bad they never recover from that. They end up in relationships, but it's never a full relationship because they only allow their mate to get but so close to them. And sometimes that comes from being hurt in the past and not dealing with the hurt. It puts up walls, and then again, that's another cycle. Walls are just cycles. That's all. Because you're blocking love. You're blocking them from hurting you anymore. So that's just a wall. And they damage the other person. And that's true. You damaged it. If you know that you're not healed, you shouldn't even get in a relationship because you're damaging. That's right. You're damaging the next person. So before we can step into any kind of relationship, you must deal so you can heal that you don't damage somebody else. I like when they say, you cut. If you're already cut, don't go into something and bleed on somebody else. So if you're hurt, don't try to give out something that you may bleed on somebody else. You need to fix that wound so you won't bleed out. So you have to take care of yourself so you won't bleed out. It's not fair to get into another relationship knowing that you haven't dealt with your stuff. Again, you just put band-aids over it, get in relationships, and then you tear up the next person's lives. And then you have to think about that. That's a cycle. Because I used to think that, I'm not gonna let them hurt me. I'm gonna get them before they get me. And I'm just honest. I'm honest, and I don't mind being honest because this is how I used to think about things because I didn't want to deal with my trauma. So I'm not gonna let you hurt me. I'm gonna get you before you get me. Or if I think you finna do something to me, I'm gonna leave you alone. And if you want to lower the wall, Evan, the best way to lower the wall is make sure you're healthy. When you're healthy, the wall automatically lowers. When you're still hurting, that wall is not going to lower because you didn't deal with what caused the hurt. That's where the wall comes from. So when you begin to deal with what caused you the pain or the trauma, the wall automatically comes down. So it's not like you just go in there and say, "Ooh, I'm a chisel." It's just like that to me. I'm knocking away that wall. Every time I start dealing with it, the wall comes down a little bit more. I'm dealing with this issue. I'm not going to let this keep me in cycles. I'm not going to let this paralyze me anymore. Yes, this hurt me, but I'm going to be better. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to know what a healthy relationship is. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be able to love. When you start dealing with whatever caused you the trauma, then the wall itself will come down. It's not like you go and you'll be like, wow, I'm open to love because you dealt with whatever caused you to put the wall up in the first place. So whatever caused the wall is what you need to deal with to break the wall. Did that make sense? Whatever caused you to put the wall is what you need to deal with to bring the wall down. So if you got the wall up because some traumatic things in your childhood, then you need to go back and deal with that. And when I say deal with it, you have to own it, acknowledge it. And if that means you have to find you somebody to talk it out, then that's what you do. We hold stuff. And when you hold it, that makes walls. Band-aids don't last forever. They don't. I don't care what Johnson and Johnson tell you what brand it is, the see-through brand, the brand that got the antibiotic in it, it ain't gonna last long. After 5 or 7 days, you got to take that band-aid off. But some of us try to keep band-aids on for 2 years. And that band-aid ain't no good no more. It don't woe out, but you still trying to keep that band-aid on that wound. So that's just like life. The band-aid that you put on there and think that it's going to last for 4 and 5 years. No, you just becoming more and more angry, more and more upset all the time and bitter and living in that dysfunction because you don't want to deal with it. When now it's time to just rip the band-aid off. Rip it off. Rip the band-aid off so you can heal. Yeah, it's going to hurt when you pulling it off because it done got all kinds of hair all around it. And when you rip it up, you're going to rip some of your hair. But you still need to rip it up. So it's going to hurt a little bit, but when it come all the way off, it feels good. You're healthy. You're smiling. The skin done grew back over it. That's just how you have to do it. Don't keep the Band-Aid on it. Rip it off and be like, I'm finna deal with this. I'm breaking this cycle today. I'm doing this for me. This ain't about nobody else. I want to be better. I want to be better. I want to have good relationships. I want to be healthy. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time. I don't want to keep putting on all these faces that one day I forget what face I'm supposed to put on. All because I don't want to deal with my trauma. So we let trauma take us, and then we wear so many faces that after a while you're going to get confused. Because I did it. I remember standing at my door one day, And I'm just standing there because I was like, Lord, I forgot what face to wear today because I was wearing so many because I didn't want to deal with my trauma. So that's what happens in life when you don't want to deal. You do begin to wear faces. You begin to put on what they want you to. You put on what they are expecting out of you, not what who you really are. You're putting on that face to show the world because that's what they're expecting of you. And then after a while, you don't forgot who you are because you put on so many faces. You forgot, well, Lord, who am I? And then you get to the place where I don't even know who I am. Who am I? And that's when the healing can begin. When you really acknowledge that, I don't know, I'm just broken. I don't know who I am. I've been trying to be this person for this person for that person. But who am I? Who am I? I'm breaking that cycle. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and be like, Pam, who are you? Who are you really underneath all of that persona that you put out for people? Who am I? So that's a question for you. Who are you? Who are you? Do you know who you really are? Because you wear too many faces. You don't want to deal with what happened or took place in your life to get you to this point. Sometimes things can paralyze us. Yes, reevaluate. You got to go back and reevaluate. You have to, in order to get in a better place. Life is life. And I say that all the time. Life is life. Either you're going to beat it or it's going to beat you. It's your choice. My dad used to tell me that. Life is going to always be life. Either you're going to beat it or it's going to beat you. Because life sometime will beat you down and have you feeling like you're about to lose it. But you have to grab hope. This is my life. I look at it as God gave me this life to live it, and not just live it, but live it more abundantly and have a good life. So I've got to figure out what's going on so I can have a better life. What's going on? You need to know who you are. That's right, Evan. We all do. You have to find your purpose, your niche. And I like to, everybody have a niche because God gave us gifts. He did. So my niche is talking like this or helping. And a lot of times I like to work behind the scenes, but when God say move, you have to move. But you find what your niche at and not pass the cycle. That's right. That's the best thing, and not pass that cycle on to your child. That's it. And I used to say this all the time. You damaged, you get a damaged boyfriend or a damaged man, you married, y'all got a damaged marriage, then you got some damaged children. So, right, stop the cycle. So you don't want all that damage in your house because then you just got a dysfunctional house all the way around. You damaged, your husband damaged, and your kids damaged. So that's up to you to stop that now, especially when you're single and you're looking for a mate. Take the time to heal to make sure you're healthy enough to get in a relationship. That's right. Oh, that was good, Evan. That's true. Make sure you're healthy enough to get in a relationship and that you're strong enough to get into it because they're a lot of work. Marriage is a lot of work. Being in a relationship is a lot of work. That's right. Some people, and sometimes God did create some of us just to help others. And that's true. Some people are just helpers. That's who they are. You have some that are just givers. That's who they are. You have some that's just motivational. That's who they are. Everything they speak is motivation. You be like, wow. Some people are just encouragers. You have some that are just intercessors. So we all have a gift. I say a niche. But we all have that because God passed them out to all of us. You just have to find out who yours is, and find out who God is, and you'll know who you are. That's true. Find out. When you have a relationship with God, you find out a lot. I like to say relationship, not religion. So I want to be in a relationship with him so I'll know who I am and what my purpose is. And again, I stop and say this every time. I do talk about God. I do acknowledge him because I know I'm nothing without him. And I say this to, I don't want people to be on here like, well, why is she always talking about God? Well, if you don't want to hear about God, you just exit yourself off of this podcast. But on this podcast, we all are believers. I don't knock nobody else hustle, but I'm a believer because I know what he done for me. So I said that, and that's true. When you meet God, you truly meet, find out who you are and your purpose. So God is great, and that's just how I look at it. When you think back over some of the things that you've been through, and that you shouldn't be here or be in your right mind, that's enough for me. So all that other stuff, no. But I thank God because he shows you when you're unhealthy, and he'll let you know, no, baby, you need to go take care of that before you do that. You can't have a life without him. That's true. So that's why, a lot of times when I talk about stuff, even before I come on here, I acknowledge him. Even before I do this, I pray. I ask him, what do I need to say? Because I don't want to get on here and give out false information. I don't want to do that. My biggest thing is to help the next sister or the next brother to understand what this thing called life can do. So it's up to us how we live the life that he's given us. And he's given us tools to overcome everything that hits us in life. We just have to be willing to do work and listen. That's right. So I'm thankful for the platform. I'm thankful for the people. I'm thankful for the questions and all of you that tune in with me every Thursday. I am thankful because I couldn't do it without you. And then we couldn't do it without him because we're nothing without him. So I hope that I've said something that helps somebody down through the week or encourage somebody to know that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. And if anybody tell you any different, that's not right. It's okay not to be okay because you're going to have those moments because we are human. You're going to have those moments when you're not okay. You're going to have those moments when you're sad. You're going to have those moments when you might not understand everything because we're human. And it's okay to not be okay, but acknowledge when you're not okay. You tell somebody when you're not okay because this stuff is real. People be going through and we don't even know it. They be going through, they be depressed and we don't even know it. So take the time to check on each other, make sure, or you may see, oh, she didn't look right. Let me just make sure she okay. A lot of times I'll say, I'm not trying to get in your business. I just want to make sure you're okay. So that's how we should be. A long time ago, I did a thing that says, I am my sister's keeper. I'm my sister's keeper. I'm my brother's keeper. I want to be the keeper who needs, that you need me. I want to be there. So I want to be able to be there. If you say, I'm going through this, we can't always judge people because it could have been us in that situation. It's just by God's grace and mercy that it's not. Some of us have learned to deal with our cycles. We stop that cycle because, like she said, I don't want to pass it on to my children. I don't want it to get to my grandchildren. That's how, we just thankful that we've learned to deal with it. But maybe the next sister haven't. But you have. So make sure you check on them to be like, okay, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. No judgment. I'm here. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. That's how I feel about it. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to listen because I know where I came from. And I like to tell, don't ever forget where you came from or what you've been through, because then you can look at people in a different light. Oh, I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to down you because I've been through some stuff. You may not know it because I didn't wear it like that, but I've been through it. So you don't know people's story. And I say that a lot too. You know their name, but you don't know their story. We know nobody's struggle because people don't, go out and tell you, they when you step out, there was something else my dad used to say. When I step out my door, you don't know what's going on. You don't know my struggle. You don't know that I cried all last night because I'm not going to put that out there. I'm not going to wear that. When I step out, I'm going to step like, but when I get back home, my shoulders go back in or the tears begin to flow because you don't want nobody to see that. But that's not how we're supposed to live. If you need help, ask for help. You need somebody to talk to, say it. Them secret battles. Yes, that's what I call them, Jessica. They are secret. The battles that you face in secret are not good battles because those are the worst battles because you're trying to fight them by yourself. You're trying to fight them secret battles are battles that you try to fight by yourself. By yourself. And we all need somebody. We have God, yes. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you need a physical person. Because he is there. But sometimes you do need that physical person right there that you can talk to, that can answer you back, that you can actually, I hear you. That's right. A lot of us don't look like what we've been through, Nika, and we thank God for that. So that's why I say you talk to people when you're going. If you've been in a situation and you see your sister going through that situation, you don't have to pull it out in the open. You text her or call and say, "Can we meet for lunch or can we meet for dinner or something? I just want to talk to you." That's it. And those secret battles are the worst. And we do always need somebody. I used to be like, I don't need nobody. Lord, my mama used to say, girl, everybody needs somebody. She used to tell me that all the time because I was like, Mom, I don't need that. That's right. Trinity Coaching will help you fight. We'll help you fight. If you need Trinity Coaching, just call, inbox, whatever. I will. I'm that's all. That's what Trinity Coaching is all about. Helping the next sister or the next brother. So one day I'm gonna let some testimonial so you can see that Trinity Coaching really do work, and we do the work. And I thank God for S.O.P because they push me, and I have a great church family. I have a great team. I love all of you guys, and I'm really outdone because it feels better when y'all talk to me too instead of me just talking, because we're supposed to interact and we can help each other. So you just, you have people nosy just to come on and see what she talking about. Does she know what she talking about? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. I have a BA in human services. I worked in mental health and behavioral for about 14 years. I am a certified life coach, and I've been doing this for a long time for free. Ain't nothing wrong with for free sometimes because that's where you have to start at. But I thank God now that He's opening some doors for me, and I'm excited to see where I'm going. And you acknowledge people that really pushed you. And one of the jobs that I had, I worked for a young lady named Monica Gramlin. And Monica always, we called her Butter. And yeah, I'm talking about Butter for a minute, and then I'm going to get off of that. We're going to get off of here. But for some reason, I wanted to acknowledge her today because she say, Miss Pam, she pushed me to do better. And she believed in me enough to say, even when she closed B&J's Family Services, we're still connected. And she still pushes me, whether she know it or not. I watch her do what she needs to do and how she moves gracefully. And a lot of times she works behind the scenes and people don't see her. But Monica Gramlin, I see you. And I thank you for making Tidbits for Peaches and S.O.P and Trinity Coaching's t-shirts. And I thank you for believing in me all those years ago. So she don't know that she pushed me to do greater, but she did. So Butter, thank you. Evan said, that's right. And you tell it like we need it, not not how we always want it. And that's the truth. I tell people all the time, when you get Trinity Coaching, you're not getting Pam. You're not getting Minister Breeden. You're getting Life Coach. So there's a difference. Those are three different things. Minister Breeden is the youth minister at S.O.P. Pam is Pam, but Life Coach Pamela is totally different. So I thank God for all the areas that He's blessed me to walk in. And today we went a little bit longer, but it was exciting. And I thank God for all of you that responded in the chat. I thank you. And I don't want to cut off if there's anybody else that has anything they want to say or need to say. And I think I said hey to everybody that came on. Hi, Nika. Life Coach is available, not at a small price near you. What that? Not at a small price near you. That's charity. Life Coach is available. I am available, and I am at S.O.P every second Saturday. I stay in High Point that weekend. So if you ever need me, I'm there, and that's in Gifford County, even in Anson County. And we do over. I think it's called Zoom. I will do that. And I will travel if it's not too far. So if you need me, just call me, inbox me. I am here, and I love you all. And you all have a great Thursday. And I'll see you next Thursday. Jessica, thank you for always helping me. Her and Evan, I'm not a computer. I've worked with them, but this new technology, I don't know nothing about it. So I thank God for them because they always help me get it together. So thank you, everybody. Alexis and Pat, thank y'all for joining. Thank you, as always. This was great. Thank you, Evan. I love you guys. I thank you for pushing me. And thank you again, Facebook Live, YouTube. If you're there, subscribe, like, share, put it out there that we're here every Thursday. S.O.P presents Tidbits with Peaches. Good night. Y'all have a great evening.